What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here on this very merry Christmas day to react and learn about the top 10 British Christmas traditions. It's really been a pleasant surprise to me to learn about the holidays in Britain compared to here in America, because one of the fun things is the holidays aren't all that crazily different from what I've learned, but it's the most random, surprising, pleasant little traditions and differences. Just these tiny little fun things that are vastly, surprisingly different between nations, between America and Britain in particular. And I thought this little video here of the 10 British Christmas traditions, this just seemed perfect. It seems very, pleasant, and I took a little peek at it. There's, music, and it's very nice, very Christmassy, so I'm very much in the mood to enjoy learning about these top 10 British Christmas traditions, so let's take a look.
Welcome to our top 10 British Christmas traditions.
Christmas cards. Started in UK in 1843 by Henry Cole, who worked for the newly formed post office.
Wait, how? Can you really trace the very first Christmas card to an actual person, to an actual year? In the UK? Really? America does Christmas cards. I think at this point everybody does Christmas cards, but I never realized you could trace it back to one particular card or something.
Free by Henry Cole, who worked for the newly formed post office. He was looking for a way to encourage ordinary people to use the postal service. He had an artist friend design a card. They were sold for 1 shilling each, the equivalent of 5p today.
What? We're actually talking about the formation of the post office? That would make sense, wouldn't it? And with the creation of the post office and trying to drive people to use it, spawned the Christmas card. That is actually fascinating.
Sold as a Christmas celebration card to perpetuate kind recollections between friends.
Wow.
With that catchy slogan, it's a miracle they ever caught on. To this day, cards are still exchanged in person or via the post.
Yeah, wow. I don't know if this guy actually realized what kind of world-changing invention he had come up with there.
Mulled wine. Introduced into Europe by the invading Romans, mulled wine was widely enjoyed in England in the Middle Ages.
Mulled wine. I have to admit, I've never heard of this. I don't know what makes it mulled, or what mulled means, for that matter.
Spices were added to promote good health. Herbs and flowers were added as natural sweeteners to make the wine more palatable.
Okay.
In the 1890s, Sweden produced glögg in bottles with pictures of Santa. Over time, the craze was reignited across Europe, and in a few decades, the world.
Wow, yeah. I mean, if this is a European thing, in particular a British thing, I'm really not familiar with this. I want to Google it. Mulled wine, this is a big deal. I almost feel like I've heard the word before. Never really thought much about it. Mulled wine, also known as spiced wine. Alcoholic drink made with wet red wine along with various mulling spices. Oh, there's the mulling spices. Sometimes raisins, served hot or warm. Traditionally drank during winter, especially around Christmas. Wow. Okay, mulled wine. Seems nice.
Mistletoe. The tradition of hanging mistletoe dates back to the ancient Druids, who believed the plant brought good luck and protected from evil. In Norse mythology, mistletoe symbolized love, which is where the custom of kissing under the mistletoe came from.
You know, this is one of those traditions that I didn't know if this was just an American thing, honestly. But it actually sounds like this is a worldwide thing, not just even in Britain. Mistletoe and the tradition of hanging it and kissing under it. It actually sounds like it has to do with Norse history and stuff.
In the UK, the tradition dates back to the 1700s. The Victorians popularised it as it was thought to symbolise fertility and romance.
Okay.
Mince pies. Originally filled with meat rather than the dried fruits and spices mix they are.
Alright, I gotta pause it. This is not the first time I've heard of this minced pie thing. As a matter of fact, from what I can tell, this seems to be shockingly common in Britain. Minced pie, and from what I understand, there's meat involved. And yes, America does have chicken pot pie, but that's not been popular for a long time, at least for me. I haven't experienced chicken pot pie in my life, although I know there are Americans that do that. But just the whole concept of meat and pie put together, I actually have to look up minced pie. I know I've probably looked this up before, minced meat, minced pie, because I really don't understand the concept that well. Minced pie. Pie of English origin filled with mince meat. Yeah, mixture of fruit, spices, suet. You know, I get that this only seems kind of disturbing to me because I'm an American, because I did not grow up with this. I've never had it. Never even seen it in real life. So it's very foreign to me in the purest of senses.
Are today. During Stuart and Georgian times, mince pies were a status symbol being made into stars, hearts and flowers. These days, they're round and deep filled with mincemeat.
Huh. It looks like, it looks nice. This is very small. That spoon was almost the size of this entire pie.
Crumbly pastry and dusted with icing sugar. Best served warm with cream.
Huh. Is this like... I keep hearing about this. This keeps getting brought up time and time again. The mince pie. This must be, quite popular.
Crackers. Crackers are a traditional favourite in the UK. First made in 1850 by a London sweetmaker called Tom Smith.
The crackers. I reacted to how to do Christmas in Britain a while back. Actually, not that long ago. And one of the things discussed in that video was these crackers, which I thought were the crackers you eat. And to my surprise, these are actually not firecrackers, but you pull them and they open, or they don't really explode. I thought maybe they exploded, but there's stuff in them. America does not have the crackers. I've never heard of crackers. I was confused by the crackers. I was scared of the crackers. But now, when they were explained to me, and now they're popping up again here, this is actually a really nice little, very pleasant, very fun sort of British tradition that seems very, very common, that I have never, ever, until recently heard about, and I'm shocked.
Sold as bangs of expectation, legend has it he thought up the idea of a small explosion as the cracker was opened.
Okay, that's the thing. I thought they were supposed to explode a little bit, but every time I see someone pull it apart, I don't know if I have my expectations set too high or just right, or there doesn't seem to be much of an explosion. Maybe that's a good thing. But you pull it and it opens and...
While watching his log fire crackle. This might have been a marketing ploy, as he bought the bangs for his crackers from Brooks Fireworks Company. Originally only containing sweets, his sons introduced the hats and travelled the world looking for ideas for gifts to put in their crackers.
Right. It has some kind of paper hat and jokes in it and candy, I think. This one had a joke in it.
The average cracker today, you can expect a bang that rarely fires on its first pull, a simple toy, and a joke that is expected to be terrible.
Okay, that's a nice way of putting it. I think these are more like just fun because of how more the symbolism behind them and you kind of expect there to be a corny joke and a really awful toy, and that's just part of the fun, the experience.
If it doesn't make you groan, it hasn't done its job. When it comes to the hats, us British are a little too reserved to wholeheartedly enjoy wearing a silly hat in public.
Merry Christmas!
But the good news is, one size fits all.
These paper hats, I mean, it's like a little paper crown, to be honest. Is this like a British tradition as well? Do you have to put on the silly hat?
The Queen's Speech. The pre-recorded Queen's Speech is an integral part of a British Christmas. I know of families who don't open the gifts until after, which, given it's aired at 3 p.m, is surely a form of torture.
Wow, so some British families actually revolve like the present opening around the speech. Obviously, the Queen passed away. Very sad. And this year, I suppose, is going to be the King's speech for the very first time. Maybe I can Google this, you know? Let's do Christmas speech in UK. Royal Christmas message. Yes. I mean, obviously. So it's going to be a pre-recorded message by King Charles, I imagine, right? King Charles' first Christmas speech to conclude tumultuous ... Yeah, I mean, I imagine he is going to get the speech to the Christmas speech. Okay, that'd actually be kind of interesting to actually hear. As an American, I've certainly I never even heard any of the Queen's Christmas Day speeches, let alone this year's. But now that it's on my mind, it actually has me thinking.
The older generations stand bolt upright at the first hint of a national anthem, while we look on bemused. The Queen traditionally talks about the year and any challenges the nation and the royal family has faced. This year could be quite a long one. It normally has a resigned tone and congratulates us all for keeping our chins up through whatever trials and tribulations have been faced.
Oh, I didn't know that. The speech actually has like a very like dictated purpose and traditionally addresses the hardships of the year. It's like a year recap, and also like obviously meant to motivate and like, you know, lift up the people of Britain, I imagine. Huh. That should be quite fascinating. I imagine this year it's going to be very, very, very emotional as well. I'm sure King Charles will bring up the passing of his mother, the Queen, along as any other hardships for the year. Probably, you know, also part of his duty is to be kind of motivational, I imagine, and end on a positive note for the year to go into the new year. So that's actually quite a lot of responsibility.
Festive lunch. I can taste it now. The succulent turkey, fluffy roast potatoes, sausages wrapped in bacon, meaty stuffing, vegetables and gravy poured over.
Oh, wow.
Delicious. A traditional British Christmas meal is served as a often running a bit late lunch.
Often running late lunch, just because things never work out. You know, in America, I don't know many people who do a Christmas lunch at all. I think, you know, maybe there's families in America that do that. I think that's the exception rather than the rule. Most people just focus all day on creating the Christmas dinner. That's the focus. So if Britain really does celebrate with a nice Christmas lunch, that's kind of unique.
Sat up at a festively decorated table, including wine and crackers. It's possibly my favourite meal of the year, not least as Dan cooks it. British people are very keen on Christmas lunch and all the trimmings. The trimmings being all the extras like the sausages in bacon and for some Yorkshire puddings and cranberry sauce.
Wait, In America, we focus on a Christmas dinner. That's the focus of the day. In Britain, is the focus on a Christmas lunch? Or is there a Christmas lunch and Christmas dinner?
Christmas pudding. It became our traditional Christmas dessert around 1650, and by the time Victorians were celebrating...
Why'd they light it on fire? What? I gotta be honest here. You know, I don't like to... I don't like to come off as too judgmental. But I gotta say, as an American, from my American point of view, this pudding looks disturbing. It's just that in America, we don't eat pudding that is solid like this or gelatinous. And this has clearly just been made in a bowl and flipped upside down. And it's just a blob. And I guess you're supposed to scoop it out and eat it. We just don't have anything like this. As a matter of fact, if your pudding looked like this in America, you've done something horribly wrong. Something has gone horribly wrong. But that's part of the fun. This is like a traditional British Christmas pudding. Never seen anything like it.
The same as we enjoy today. Many traditions continue to this day. Some say the puddings should have 13 ingredients to represent Jesus and his disciples, that every member of a family should give the pudding a stir for luck before it's boiled and put away in a cupboard.
Well, they're almost cutting it like a cake. And why'd they light it on fire?
Alcohol added for a good month, and my favourite, a good luck sixpence or silver charm added to the mix before cooking to be discovered during eating and hopefully not breaking a tooth.
What? You hide a coin in it? You hide a coin in it? But what if you choke on it or something?
I still remember sitting eyes wide as a child as the pudding was walked into the darkened room aflame. It's definitely part of the magic of Christmas.
Wow, I mean, that is really cool how it can be lit on fire. That definitely is like a striking image. I'll definitely give it that. I guess I'd have to taste it before I knock it.
Boxing Day. The day after Christmas Day is called Boxing Day.
Right.
It was traditionally a holiday for servants, and employers would give gifts. Servants also went home to visit and give gifts to their families.
I keep hearing about this Boxing Day. This Boxing Day. America doesn't have a Boxing Day. There's no Boxing Day. I had never heard of Boxing Day until recently.
In cities, tradesmen and women would go door to door of homes they had serviced that year to wish the occupants a Merry Christmas and hopefully receive a gift. These days, families see it as a day to rest after all the celebration and cooking the day before.
Yeah, I mean, it's the day right after Christmas. Like, so much action and activity and emotions. And then this is the day after where you just kind of schlub around and just relax.
Children would play with their toys and meals are leftovers, though in our family we have a roast beef for dinner.
Okay.
12th night. It's tradition to take down all your Christmas decorations by 12th night, which falls on the 6th of January, and it's considered bad luck to leave anything up.
Oh, right. Oh, right. I forgot about this. Right? This is a British thing. 12th night. Oh, America needs this. Because people will just let their Christmas decorations sit out forever. Because we don't have, like, some tradition of bad luck if you don't take them down. So it's almost like a contest to see who's the laziest. Who can just keep their Christmas decorations out the longest. This would be really useful to America. To get us off our butts and actually cleaning up Christmas.
Unbeknown to me, in the past there was a whole 12th night celebration, celebrating the three wise men's visit to Jesus, including much partying and practical jokes, plays. Some say Shakespeare's 12th Night was originally performed on the night in the 1600s, and a rich fruit cake. Whomever found the bean hidden in the cake was pronounced King or Queen Bean, and is obeyed for the rest of the evening. Some fall.
Man, all these traditions of hiding stuff in food would make me very nervous, but it's only a bean. Maybe I'm blowing it out of proportion. I just don't know if anyone would choke on the bean or the coin, or I don't know.
The celebrations continue to this day.
Wow. That was really nice. That was actually really, really nice. This was by Faye and Dan's Travels. And I liked this. I really did like this. This had plenty of traditions, British Christmas traditions that I had never heard of. Very, very cool. Most of the, I mean, all these are super cool. Some of the cakes and puddings, kind of, you know, I'm a little skeptical, but, you know, I've never had it. I've never cut the jiggly pudding and with the coin hidden inside and gotten to take a bite, so what do I know? But seriously, most of this stuff looks very, very fun, very cool. The traditions, the differences between our nations just make this so beautiful and fascinating. It's great. Love it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to British culture, stuff in Britain that I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And with that being said, have a very Merry Christmas wherever you are, and see you next time.